actually on private property, but the main part of it is that school trust land like I was talking about. But the cool thing about it being on a private property is that there have been some filmings down here. All right. So a little bit of, if you've seen 127 Hours, a little bit of that was filmed in this here canyon. And then there's also another film done in like the can't remember if it was the 80s or the 90s. But anyway, before you know, CGI and stuff was super accessible to especially small filmmakers and everything. And what they wanted to do was come and make this film called Zion Canyon Treasure of the Gods. And in that film, there was this guy, he had his camera and everything, and what he was trying to do was capture this beautiful picture of like Zion and the canyons, like one of the first to do it, right? Well, there was a sequence where he's up in one of these slot canyons and he gets washed away by a flash flood. And none of that was CGI. It happened in this canyon, and they waited for an actual rainstorm, and they filmed it. They filmed him getting swept away in this flash flood. But they rescued him. Yeah, I mean, I think he got a little banged up and stuff, but ultimately,
you know,
it
he's
was fine. Yeah. So,
wow.
That's kind of a cool little history about this.
See, back in the old days, things were cool.
Yeah, right?
Now, you don't believe any of it.
And now you try to
It's
say,
like,
no,
you didn't even write that.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
yeah, none of it's real. And, you know, even when they do, like Tom Cruise, they do all my stunts.
Yeah.
You're like, you say so.
Sure. So this is one of my favorite parts. The lines and features you can see in this little area gives you a really good perspective on the fact that it used to be sand, sand dunes and stuff. Those layers.
Just think about it. All this is underground in some of the other areas.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's still yet to be exposed, right?
Yeah.
Just pointing out this rock right here. It's got some fossils, fossilized seashells in it. You can see.
No, he says you were too late for that demonstration. Just keep on moving.
Sorry, I figured Pete would pass along the.
Yes, he would.
I did.
He's really excited about this stuff. He's been trying to find rocks that he can crack open and see a fossil
Those
on.
ones that you see that are like, you got your cylindrical one there, and then you pop it out to.
Trying to ammonites?
Yeah.
We went to a place in Utah where you could hunt for fossils,
Uh-huh.
and it was one of the few places where you could keep them.
Oh, really?
Well.
And so we were there for about an hour, and that was the time limit we bought. And my wife's like, "All right, let's go." I'm like, "Oh, can we do another hour?" Like an 8-year-old boy. She's like, "Oh, rocks."
Do you just kind of walk around rocks like this? And
No, they're kind of excavating rocks, and they bring them over to a pile.
make some
and
gin,
you
I'll
just
get you
walk over to a
started.
pile
Yeah,
and
there you
start
go.
breaking them open.
If you keep it in your mouth long enough, it'll eventually turn, right?
yeah. Again, it's nice and cool in the canyon. The rocks green. Gets redder and redder.
That's something.
I still think that it like breaks away because it's complicated, but it breaks, like something broke off of it.
What made you guys come out here?
When?
What made you? Yeah, what made you the idea?
I didn't want to leave the country and I wanted to do something interesting, so Utah it was.
Good selection. Did I hear you were from Mass?
Yes.
I've got family all over. I lived in New Hampshire for a little bit, and I went to school in Boston. So I lived in Medford.
Dang, I can't.
My dad is Cambridge, and my mom is Dorchester.
Oh, small world.
We're in New Hampshire.
Greenville, right over Route 3, just past the border.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're from Kingsborough, which is
Oh,
right
yeah.
on the border. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got family everywhere.
Yeah.
Not
Usually people
not
don't
sure
know.
exactly where that's at relation to Paul Revere's hotel, that oldest working hotel.
Is that Bunker Hill?
Yeah, up there by
Yeah.
Bunker Hill. Stood up in that one.
Yeah.
Walked around during their first blizzard of the season. 21-foot snow drifts. But that was fine because I had some hot chocolate and some whiskey.
Yeah.
And that cures just about everything.
At least that's what they say. That WD-40.
What you don't have to do
How hot does it get for you?
I mean, I don't know. We'll get like in the middle of summer, we get like 90s and stuff, but it's the humidity.
And is it 90 all day long, like nighttime?
Yeah, like it doesn't cool off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been to Washington D.C. and it was just.
The
That
humidity
was when you
sucks.
realized what you all say to us about that's a dry heat. Like,
Yeah.
when we get there,
Definitely different than here.
It's like out here, like it's hot, but you're not sitting in your own sweat. It's
Yeah.
hot.
that's a different.
And when you get in the shade, you get out of the heat.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
you're
that's
in
the
humid,
thing,
the
like, in
heat follows you in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. You're
The
right.
humidity, like even in the shade, you just sit in that sweat.
There's something about it getting down at night and coming back up. That it's not this that steady hot all the time.
Yeah,
I mean, you
that's
feel like
what's-
okay, this is the peak and it's gonna cool off.
Yep.
I wanted to point out this real quick. So kind of like where those pet flips were that I was talking about, how it could have been like a granary or something. This would have been even more like to be something like that, and you can kind of tell. I don't know if you've ever been to somewhere like Mesa Verde or anything like that, but if you go there and you look at the ceilings, you'll see something almost exactly like this line right here. And that tells you pretty consistently that there was a wall built at some point right here to keep that food in, or something like that, or even a dwelling, but less likely in a canyon like this because of the water.
When you have your monsoons, do you, joking, is that they forecast any storms going to come in the next couple days? And so you expect until about the filming? I mean, they had to have known meteorologists predicted something's coming in.
Yeah.
So you can prepare to get out.
They do. It's pretty good. The issue is, so you only have to have 0.03 inches of rain an hour for the canyon to flood. And so it's like almost nothing, and it'll be like a life-threatening flood.
So that's just rain.
And that's just rain.
It's just like in
And
town,
so-
it's just rain.
Yeah. And so if we're like looking at the forecast and stuff, we like to look at the radar, because just like Pete was saying earlier, it doesn't have to be raining right here. It can be raining, miles away up there, and it'll run off. And so there was a time that once I went to this canyon, I was, came here doing my thing, and there was rain in the forecast for nearby, but this is kind of before I knew a lot about what I was doing, right? And there were blue skies all morning, all day. We're getting out there, and then all of a sudden, you start hearing, and seriously, it sounds like thunder coming down because it's moving all these boulders and everything like that. I'm like, that thunder, and it just didn't stop. I don't know, that's a flood. And you look up, and it's just like this, blue skies everywhere, it's sunny, and then all of a sudden, this river just comes rushing through. And so I was at the bottom of the rappel. I had everybody. I was kind of guy in this game. I was at the bottom of the rappel. I had, I think, 5 more people up at the top. They were in place of security. I wasn't, right? So this water comes cascading over, freaking boulder like this size, comes, smashes me in the head, pushes me into the water. I'm still on the rope, so I get myself off the rope. I get up out of the water. I just scream up at them. I'm like, "Are you guys okay?" They say, "Yeah." I book it out of there as fast as I can because we were luckily in a canyon, not quite like this, where there was some sides. So I gotta get up on the side. The water goes away, right? And we're like, okay, well, and they're still at the top.
Oh,
They
they're
finished coming
in
down.
the middle of.
Well, they're at the second rappel, so there was no way getting out other than rappel down, right? So the water kind of leaves, right? And we start rappelling again, and then it starts pouring. It's everywhere. And I'm like, all right, we gotta get out of here. Either we gotta get out of here or we gotta wait for the storm out, right? So we're sitting there trying to figure out what to do. And I go, let's give it 10 minutes. If nothing happens, if the storm subsides and nothing happens in 10 minutes, then we'll rappel and press the way out. So we sit there kind of in a high and dry spot. The alarm goes off after 10 minutes. And I kid you not, at the same time my alarm goes off, another wave is washing over. I was like, man, if we didn't give us the 10 minutes, we would have been dead. It was crazy.
And it was like one of these types of
No, it was just my friends and stuff. Yeah, we were
They
friends.
more.
Oh. Yeah, right. Yeah, just those kind of people, you know, whatever.
Those that
But-
understand.
But yeah, we did end up having to. There is like a steep way out. We ended up kind of crawling our way out, hiking our way.
Because you
climbing our way
couldn't go
out.
the way you normally
Couldn't
would
go.
have done. And your cars and so forth weren't in it.
No, they're
Wow, live and learn.
yeah, I mean, it can be really dangerous. There's a time where it's flooded in here above our heads. Like that's how much water can come down.
And that's just one storm.
Yeah, yeah. What'll happen is, it's got a big watershed at the very top, and there's several different main places that we use this big entrapment, and then break and cascade down here. And so if it's raining all over the area, that'll fill really quickly, and that's when you get those big massive floods.
They're awful.
Yeah.
Where it comes down back in.
That's what it was. Look at the top of the circles. Yeah. I'm just looking at the waves of them. Almost like what you see in those theaters, with music figures now, and putting like in the, you got that. I can't even get up that other one. Never did I ever.
Careful with mud in there.
Oh, is there a bunch of mud still?
Look at your shoes, I'm like, I'm not seeing any man.
No, deep mud. You got to stay out of the mud.
Is that what
You don't have to walk through
Was
the
that
mud
not
to
the
know
start
that
of your
there's
conversation? You're so smart.
There are some people that learn the hard way and others, you know.
That's why we let you guys go first.
Very smart.
Our tour guide taught us. He said, watch them, watch them.
Don't do what they do, because they're
How's his driving?
Oh, he's loving it. He's like, go up the side.
Because he just got his license back, so.
Oh, good.
Turn the last time.
It shows.
You got that stop sign.
It shows.
Infraction.
No, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he did.
His brother works for a company that has a camera in the car. He's been driving for him from, I mean, he does work and he has to drive a work truck. And 2 or 3 years ago, and he was getting on the freeway and there was a small stop sign. And he got on the freeway and the camera goes off, stop sign infraction. He gets called in 3 days, he's off work. For running a stop sign because the camera in the car. Can you imagine having those in your car? And it was just not even like any major stop sign, it was like one you barely even saw.
Good luck with him.
Next time, just like pull up to the liquor store so it sees it.
I couldn't believe that. I was like, wow, and you get off work? Sorry.
I like, you have this kind of bowl right here that you can kind of sit in. It's just like a very pretty view.
your wife a tour guide also? Is that your wife's a tour guide also?
Have you ever had to rescue anybody down here?
That's cute.
Not personally. Clipped up.
There's that sign.
And we were trying to get him down. We ended up going search and rescue because we didn't have the proper equipment.
There was just a guy that was out and about.
Yeah, he was out by himself. He found himself on the edge of the cliff and couldn't get down. So anyway, we got
You have to
search and
read the
rescue.
book about the deaths in Yosemite. I know it sounds morbid. It's amazing.
That's my wife for you.
No, it's incredible. Everyone, they're all about the rescues. They're all about the rescues. There's a story about one 16-year-old, 13, 14, 16-year-old, I want to say. He was out with his friends. Decided instead of taking the trail, they're going to go off-road. So he went off-road and went down the side right above the lodge, so literally on a cliff, and he slipped off the edge. And he got caught on, and he was on, what they say, 18 inches. A ledge, 18 inches. This is well before, he was up there for 18 hours. They ended up going down to a pawn shop down in San Diego. They didn't have mountaineering gear because they didn't have enough mountaineering gear to go up the hill. You just stayed with almost down 1 foot. Because the ledge was not big enough. Oh my God, my heart just, I get crazy every time I think about it. This is about, you won't see many of the stories being anything out of your generation. Because of all the equipment that's there and people and they just airlift you out. When we were there, they airlifted 2 people just in time in the middle of the night. They didn't have that. But all of the rescues that they had to do and why and what happened were causing. The reason they wrote the book was to keep people from doing stupid things.
Oh, right.
If you know these stories, you won't go straight. You won't go in, try and get water and then you fall into the water and you die.
You won't try and catch your wife because she was too over in the river and got
that
washed
was
out.
start story number 1.
Really?
That was exactly what happened.
You went to try to catch her?
He went to go catch her and they both went off
They
the
both
edge.
went out.
And it was
She came
300
out
foot-
fine. He came
No.
out. No, was it
300 foot waterfall, he came out fine. She broke pelvis back, and all the way in the water. And people like us, they made a man trail, and they literally had to carry her. That's how they got her out. She was broken, like you couldn't believe. You imagine being moved, and I mean, you just put one on a gurney, and they're like, yeah, she was in the hospital for a long time. I think she went to save him. He slipped, and then she went, and they both went up. But that's the moral of the story: is things not to do.
Yeah.
Basically,
Just
say
remember,
if your friend.
if one of you guys goes in the water, and guess what? You
They
hit the
just,
bottom.
they let them
Just go walk to the bottom and wait for them to come out.
It's an incredible book. It really is. As morbid as it, I mean, and they talked about the only deer situation. They asked about, talked about deer or not bears. I cried telling them. Was reading the story while we were driving back. A kid.
My brother saw, she's giving us dramatic effect. Didn't know she's crying.
I was crying. He was a little kid. It was like a 2nd grade kid, and they were in the valley, and they keep saying, "Don't feed the animals. Don't feed the animals." And they had taught him, "Don't feed the animals." Well, he went off by himself, just right away, and was eating a sandwich. And he put the sandwich down to go do something, and a deer came over. And so there were 2 sides of the story. The story was that the kid fed the deer, and the deer turned around. And long story short, it gorged him. And then they tell the whole story. It's actually told by rangers, park rangers that actually work there. And so this guy tells the whole story about getting them to the hospital and which hospitals. They actually had some random guy follow, get mom's car because the dad went in with the kid, and then somebody else just drove the family car. And then they stopped on set because of a cardiac arrest. The guy was there with the car, and so what do you want to do this? And so now the 2 drivers, one was the back driver, the other was the
Thanks.
ranger.
That'll be cool when you edit it. Oh, I think so. I put them up unedited on YouTube, and then I watch them with the VR goggles, and you can see
His
them.
sister actually hasn't been told, and said, he indicated when he is, set it down, when he went to tell him no, the thing went around him. But,
You never know.
That move over or did that move over?
So we'll go yeah, and if you look up, there's some webbing up there you attach the rope to, sling it down, and then you come down that.
You guys do, so when you go and do, like if you're the first one, you put things in the edge, so then now next time you come in, do you have hooks?
No, so there's stuff in the wall, yeah, there's anchors that the BLM has actually put in. So they put in established anchors, and then we throw our rope in, and our rope is retrievable every time. So we just retrieve it and then head on out.
What's the tallest one you've done?
Well, tallest one I've ever done? 300. And that was kind of crazy. There was probably 250 feet overhang, and so you're like not even touching the line.
Like the whole way?
It's only like just a couple miles from here.
I'm scared of heights when you ski. I'll ski at the top of the mountain and I can't get off the edge. Because I can't get off that lip. So I have to find a way to, if you can just give me one turn in, then I'm down. I just can't do this. So you said you can do it. If it's flat, if it's a roller edge, I can do it. If it's complicated.
It makes it hard for sure.
They could probably get higher.
Okay.
Matter of fact, my first time,
Oops, sorry.
No worries.
I had freight rope that I had freight rope that I've been sitting there for most how long. I didn't have a line. I had that many anchors and I put it around my waist like this. Isn't that crazy? No, what I know now, I'm like, I could have been in a pretty rough situation.
You're waiting now.
It was funny. It's not. It's actually but there is a boulder out there that has a second valve in its wedge. Look. Yeah. It's all red right there. Yeah. You've seen that? The movie? Yeah.
Honestly, I was like, wow.
Really what? Oh. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, you didn't enjoy watching a guy try to cut his arm off for 127 hours?
Yeah, no. It's like, yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm not curious how the lighting changes all of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to come to this one this time of day because otherwise it's just completely dark in there. But because of how high the sun is far away.
How do you work in the afternoon? Do your afternoon first, is it all sunny?
Yeah, it's a little bit more sunny right here at the beginning, but I think that where it's the best. And the other canyon is a little bit better in the evening.
His next door, he tells him the same thing.
Yeah, you're the best.
Yeah,
That's the best time.
the best time.
Best time. You guys made the right choice.
We work for colleges, so we know how to fluff the fact.
Oh, yeah.
So don't worry, we get it.
We're not geologists.
What do you guys do for the college?
So I now work for the state chancellor's office, but I'm communications, but I put together teams, so I'm marketing director.
Oh, no.
In my past life. Now I work at college. And he's an electrician.
Oh, right on.
Nice, I'm an architect.
Electrician, architect. What do you guys do for work?
Residential,
I
commercial.
manage a
Both.
cardiology practice.
We can make some big money down in the Pasadena area and the Eaton fires, where our fires were. Everybody's trying to build new houses and needing architecture.
Yeah, I hear they're having a problem permitting.
they're
permitting
trying
department's
they're trying to
overloaded.
streamline they're trying to streamline that process, which, you know, I don't know how you streamline it, but, you know, they'll
As soon
start
as you
getting
hear, when you
backlog.
hear streamline here,
Yeah,
make it
why?
more dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how would you streamline? I mean, what corners are you going to cut?
You either hire more people
Yeah,
to process things.
that's exactly.
The problem is they're all old guys like us. There's no young people in the profession anymore.
Yeah, that surprises me because I knew people, even I wanted to be an architect. I guess I thought it'd be a cool thing.
Well, I'm talking more permitting.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
When I take the classes, I take classes with permitting people, so I know what they're hearing.
Oh, that's a good. Then I.
And what you find is I'm the youngest guy in the room.
Wow.
And it's kind of scary because you've got all these guys are getting ready to retire.
I was just gonna say, sometimes they're crotchety old men that are like.
We're all crotchety old men.
Yeah.
You've learned enough to know enough to get upset.
There are times.
Like,
that-
really? Just do what I asked you to do.
How was
then-
it, John?
But then there's the other times where you've got the younger guys that have to play by the rules because they haven't lived it yet, so they're a little bit more rigid too.
Well, the problem is, at our age, you learn there are so many rules
Yeah.
that the
and
young
they're
guys
more-
just
they're
don't know
adding-
what they don't know.
They're adding
Yeah.
more. I bet you when you first started, you probably had to have half the permits or half the rules that now, because they just make a rule because something
The
happened.
problem was when I was first coming out, you were expected to know things, and the electricians were expected to know things. They're getting to the point they make us put most of the code into our drawings. So a set of drawings I used to be able to do on 3 pages is now 35.
Wow. Well, Pete's mad because the college is so old school. They just had some guy, you know, Joe was the electrician. And so the job description's written for, you know, just some guy who knows electricity. And he's like, no, I mean, we cannot do electrical work unless you're a certified electrician.
Yeah, and they just re-upped all their
And they